Hello YouTube, greetings. This is Just Get It There, Just Get It There, formerly of Backdraft Trucking 2. Just changed the name last night. Hopefully it all goes through, that it stays that way. But I just want to start this video out with a little bit of an apology from yesterday's video about this 30077, which is considered, I found out, an environmental hazmat. You are to have a class, you're supposed to have the hazmat endorsement is an environmental. Anytime you have to have a placard similar to this or other versions of it, I don't have any other ones because I'm not hazmat. And I should have never, by rule of thumb, I should have never taken this load. I want to say thank you. I'm hoping I get this name right. If I don't, I sincerely apologize. I am not really good with names. I want to say, musician, thank you for your comments and letting me know what about this 3077 is. I appreciate it. I do know about some hazmat. I prefer to stay out of it because I don't have the hazmat endorsement. I try to leave that to people that actually have hazmat. I would have never accepted this load if I would have known it was hazmat. I would have said nope. And I should have said that the moment I should have rejected this load the moment I went to go pick it up at the shipper, when the shipper told me that it had to be placard. Anything with placards, you need the endorsement. That's all that's to it. If you see it, anybody that's new to this industry or has done this before, don't take the chance in getting pulled into DOT, because you get pulled in, you can get some serious fines. You don't want that. It's your CDL. The company doesn't tell you what to do. You tell the company what to do if that's hazmat. And I want to say a special thanks to Tread's Trucker. I appreciate you, and I wish I could have met you if I would have known who you were back when you were doing the Target in Amsterdam, New York a couple times, way back when. If I would have known that you were YouTube back then, I would have followed you back then. I want to say thank you. I look forward to hopefully meeting you someday. Hopefully soon. But thank you. But on to this video. Today we're talking about crete transportation. Just want to give you a little advice about crete. Crete is a decent company. Most of the dispatchers that I've dealt with, most of them don't drive or never driven. They try to get you to take freight. They try to keep you moving when there's freight. Right now freight is slow, but they do try to keep you moving and keep your miles up for the most part. Right now, as I was alluding to yesterday, or in the last video I did, that they were contemplating probably on terminating me because they consider me unreliable, or I don't know how else to word it, but because there's a lot of freight that I turn down because I take freight accordingly the way I like it, not the way this company likes it. They like to give us tight schedules. And I also had a truck in the shop that's been in the shop for 20 different times. That was a truck that before the truck that I'm in now. The truck was in there for steer tires. It was in there for a dash display update because it was a 2023 Kenworth T680, the next gen. It had the digital dash. There was a recall on that. They had to redo the dash, which was just an update so it would stop glitching. I never really had an issue with it. the auto brightness, which I didn't like, is the new feature is one of the new features with that digital dash. It brightens according to where you are at. I don't like it, but it is what it is. And that had the digital dash with that updates. It had battery issues. I recovered the truck. They didn't want the shop to go through it. I recommend anytime you do a truck recovery for any company that you work for, get it to a shop and let the shop go through the truck, because you don't know what that previous driver did. Now, I also had a deer strike my truck. I've had issues with the PeopleNet system that they use, where it would turn itself on, off, and a bunch of other stuff. I had a deer strike the side fairing of my tractor of that 2023 Kenworth as I was heading to a terminal to get it checked out, to get the PeopleNet looked at and get an update on it. And there's just so much wrong with that truck. Plus the front bumper had an issue with it. Had the lane departure in it. It had the adaptive cruise monitoring system in it that worked but didn't work. That system is a problematic system that it seems like no matter what they do, they can't fix the problem. You go into heavy rain, it could fall out and say you don't have cruise. Then there's the issues of the snow, the ice building up on it, because they put it right on the front bumper. It's in one of my previous videos, I showed it. It is actually right on the front bumper, right where it has all that slush, all the gooey stuff off the road. It will basically make a mess. But for the most part, it's been a trial by error. I'm not one that's very willing to do a lot. I do what I can. I do things by the common sense way of what I'm going for, what I'm gonna do. But for the most part, Crete is a good company. The miles are there at times, then there's the miles, because as you know, we're in an economy where inflation's not destroying this country. But anyways, it's also doing the same thing with freight. Freight is up, down, up, down. It goes through its little spurts like it always has through the years. But I want to show you a couple of things that you're going to need after you get done with your orientation. And it's something that I recommend all drivers carry with them at most of the time, so that way they can know how to do this stuff properly. Now, Crete also does a thing called Weigh My Truck. This is what a CAT ticket looks like. As you can see, it gives you a breakdown of your actual weights. This is a legal scale ticket. Remember, your drives are at 34,000 pounds. Your trailer's at 34,000 pounds. Your steer axle's at 12,000 pounds. You don't want to go over it because it's a ticket. And especially you don't want to get a ticket in Maryland. Maryland and Virginia will charge you a ridiculous dollar amount. This is a trip sheet. Anytime you complete a load and you do a trip, you need to fill one of these out. It covers all the companies that Crete has working for, that they have. Schaefer, Crete, and Hunt Transportation. Hunt's the flatbed division. Schaefer is the reefer division. Make sure you have plenty of these because you're going to use a lot of them. This is your detention form. Make sure you have some and fill it out accordingly. This is how you get detention if you're late at a shipper or a receiver and you're getting live loaded or live unloaded, or you're being detained at a shipper for a drop-in hook, because they do have, they can tend to go over hours, especially if your load is not ready. But for the most part, Crete does a decent job on keeping me moving. And you don't, and tomorrow I got to deal with them about a citation that I got for being 34,000, or on my drive axle I had 36,000 pounds on it. I got a ticket for it in Virginia. Oops. The load was just so heavy I couldn't slide my tandems to get it legal. Well, I could have got it legal, it's just the weight was just so overbearing on the trailer, I couldn't slide my tandems because there was too much weight on the trailer. They had a pile in the way they loaded it, which I couldn't see because it was already sealed, and I wasn't allowed to. We're not allowed to touch the seal unless we're at a shipper and receiver. We got permission from the shipper or receiver to take down that, to break the seal. Now, with that being said, I will give you another update video on the citation, what's going to happen with it, whether it comes out of my pocket or Crete's going to take it in payments. I don't know. We're going to find that out, because you only had 21 days to deal with a citation. And this is my first citation I've ever got in a 10-year career of dealing with scales. I've been on scales, never been overweight, never had an issue with it. This is my first time that I've actually got a citation for being overweight on any of my drives. I was below gross, but I was over on my drives. But for the most part, that's it for today. Like I said, I want to say thank you to Tourette's Trucker. Appreciate you. Like I said, I want to meet you and hang out with you for a little bit. I'm hoping I can get down to Georgia or somewhere where you're at, and we can get together and just have some fun with everything going on in the world. But for the most part, and I want to say thank you to, again, if I apologize if I mess this up with your name, to Orphan Musician, I want to say thank you for putting that in the comments, to letting me know about that previous load that I had. I just want to say thank you, a big thank you to you for that. And to all, hope you have a nice, safe day or night, depending on where you're at and when you watch this, and have a nice day. See you on the next one.